Afraid that you might lose your life for Israel and not to defend our country?
No, I signed up when Iran starts threatening American people. I'm ready to defend.
They didn't. They didn't pose a threat.
They have.
When?
Multiple times. Whether we started out fighting for Israel or not, now they've threatened Americans.
When did they threaten Americans? We started the war. We bombed them first with Epic Fury.
Have you not been reading the news, bro?
Yeah, we started the war, Epic Fury. They said that they were building nukes for 47 years, but they did not bomb our soil. They didn't threaten us directly.
They don't need nukes over there, bro.
You know, Israel has nukes. They say it's our greatest ally. Why could Israel have nukes but Iran can't?
Let me ask you this. You believe in God?
Yeah.
I will say this. I will fight for Americans and I will fight for Israel.
Do you want to? You'll fight for Israel?
That's God's chosen people.
Because yes, God chosen people. Okay. You want to? You want to die for Israel because they're God chosen people. So you're Christians. Do you know what they think about Jesus?
They don't think he was the Son of God.
They don't think so. They also, in the Talmud, it says that Jesus is burning in feces and excrement in hell.
Jesus is not in hell, bro.
That's what the Jews believe. You believe in God. How are you going to respond on Judgment Day to explain that you died for a cause that was incorrect? If you do, God forbid.
I believe in God. I believe in protecting my country, people I love.
You believe in God.
And protecting
That's great.
life.
But you shouldn't believe in our politicians. You should trust in God.
I said, bro, I'm not a politician.
Our politicians are not the authority. You can't trust these people.
I don't know. I don't watch the news. I grew up Amish. I don't even like electronics.
So
I don't care about the news.
Man, you seem like a good guy, bro. Don't give your life away for the billionaire class that hasn't released the Epstein files that are profiting off this war. Trump is a draft dodger. He didn't even fight. He didn't even serve.
I never met Trump. I don't know about him. He's president, so I got to respect him a little bit, whether he does bad stuff or not. But the Bible says to pray for your leaders. So if you think Trump's a bad guy, maybe you should pray for him.
Pray for him, but don't die for him.
I'm just doing what's on my contract, man.
Best of luck to you, man.
Serving God. I appreciate it, man. God bless you, bro.
God bless you. Oh my God, someone clipped that ASAP.
All right, shalom, shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakah HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, this is a real quick video. All right, as quick as I could possibly make it. All right, these degenerate soldiers are supposed to be America's last hope, or these degenerate soldiers are supposed to be America's heroes. All right, something around the lines of that. All right, and this is going off this video you just watched. All right, where this guy Sneeko was basically he was basically asking this American soldier basic questions about the war in Iran. What does he think about Donald Trump? Basic things that a U.S. military operative should know. Okay. And, clearly, you know what I'm saying? This soldier is lost. Okay. He has no idea what the hell is going on. All right. And, this is the perfect candidate to be sent off to World War III, okay, and lay his life down for a country that's been two-timing his ass since he came out the womb, all right? But he has no idea, okay, because he's an idiot, all right? And this is the perfect guinea pig, right? This is why when these people, when they get into the military, this is why Esau, he's quick to just stuff these niggas with a bunch of vaccines and experiment on them, because a lot of these American soldiers, all right, are out of their mind and they're completely delusional. All right. This guy says something about those small hats are God's chosen people. Let me tell you something, man. The whole world is privy now that those goddamn gutter rats in the land of Israel are not the real Israelites. Even people that don't even acknowledge that they're Israelites, right? They know now that the small hats are not the true Israelites, right? All of this information coming out on those small hats out there, okay? And this guy, he still believes the deception, right? Then another thing is, Sneeko asked him, like, hey, man, what did he say? He said, basically saying, that, Donald Trump is running this country into the ground. He's a dictator. And this nigga said, you got to pray for people like that. You got to pray for Donald Trump. He's completely lost, man. But you got to understand, in the U.S. military, he's not the only one. Okay, there's thousands of niggas in the military that think just like this, man. All right, and these individuals are supposed to be America's last hope. These individuals are supposed to hold down the line. Okay, these are the brave ones. All right, America is over, man. If these are the soldiers, if these are the ones that are supposed to, press the line, okay, a bunch of dumb motherfuckers that don't even know why they're dying. They'd have no idea why they're being thrown out there to the Middle East. Okay, they're just doing it because somebody on the television tells them. All right, it shows you the state of, this country and how degeneracy has really taken over. Okay, but like I said, this is exactly what Esau. These are exactly the type of individuals that Esau wants inside of his military. Right? People with a low IQ that don't ever ask any questions. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was bad, with them niggas in the military and that a lot of them are retarded. I didn't know it was this bad. And let me tell you something. This probably ain't the worst one. There's a lot of goddamn jarhead, stupid motherfuckers in the military, man, that are way more dumber than this and that are just willing to just pick up a gun and shoot the enemy. Don't ask no questions, right? Just do it, okay? These type of individuals they were ultimately born for the sword, man. A dude like this, okay, he's born for the sword, all right? This guy, he's born for the sword, and he gonna die in World War III, okay? Because he don't ask no questions. He don't want to know nothing. He wants to be deceived by his government. That's why when Sneeko was trying to, Sneeko's trying to wake him up, right, and tell him like, look, man, you're fighting for corrupt global powers, man. You don't get it? Oh no, I don't. Basically, he's saying like, oh, I don't care. I mean, hey, man, you gotta defend your country, and this guy's lost, man. Okay, but he ain't the only one. He is not the only one. Okay, there's sergeants, there's captains that think like this, man. All right. Now, what type of army, right, is it? To where you just got a bunch of degenerate, slow belly people, right, that can't even think for themselves. What type of standing army do you really think you're going to have? All right. So this just shows that the average person in the military is a complete degenerate, man. All right. And really, all right, if it wasn't for Babylon's technology and military might, individually, as a soldier to soldier, okay, America is finished, all right? America is doomed, all right? Because these soldiers are basically just robots for the global elites, man, all right? This is why we don't feel bad for a lot of these soldiers that are getting ready to throw their lives away, okay, in World War III and die for a country that don't give a fuck about them. This is why we don't feel bad, because really they're choosing to be this stupid. They want to die. They want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to give their life for something that they believe is bigger than them. Okay. And they're going to get that opportunity. A nigga like this is going to get that opportunity. All right. He don't even know who his boss is. He don't even know that Israel, okay, is the one that's calling the shots. Like I said, he still believes that them small hats are God's chosen people. He don't read the Bible, but then he had the nerve to sit there and say, I believe in my Lord Savior, Jesus Christ. He asked Sneeko, do you believe in God? God says, if you know what God say, then how you don't know that them ain't the real Israelites, man? But, I'm convinced that niggas like this in the military, they don't care. You know what I mean? They don't give a damn. Okay. So, this is a part of America's decline. All right. The soldiers are completely low level degenerate retards, man. All right. So let me get this precept real quick, because I only got one, and we're going to get it. We're going to read it regular, and then we're going to get it in a different translation. All right. This is Jeremiah 51:30. It says, the mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. OK, the mighty men. All right. Dealing with the soldiers, dealing with the military operatives. All right. A lot of them have literally forborne to fight. A lot of these soldiers, OK, are really not trying to fight and lay their lives down on the line. Right. There's a lot that think like this jackass But then on the other hand, there's a lot of them that really don't want to put their lives on the line. Okay. You know, and then ultimately, all right, the average American soldier, if they're anything like this guy, okay, they have forborne to fight because their mind is not sharp, right? Their mind is not up to date. Okay. You know, it says they have remained in their holds. Their might have failed. Yeah. And your first might is your intellect, man. Okay. Your discernment. So we already can see that the average American soldier has no discernment whatsoever. All right. And this is supposed to be America's heroes, the brave, the honorable. Remember, they used to have them commercials, the brave, the honorable, had them niggas out there in the Middle East with whole suited up on a commercial like he's just so capable. But then you come to find out that these niggas ain't nothing but some vaccine receiving guinea pig fucking incompetent dumb motherfuckers, man, that don't even know that their own government is sending them out there on a burnout mission to put their lives on the line, okay, for greed and wealth. You know, they have no idea about that, man. You know what I mean? They have no idea, okay? At this point, the average person knows more about the the corruption of the government and what's going on out there, in the war than the soldiers do, man, okay? The soldiers got to ask the American people what's going on, right? Because, in that military, they don't even let these soldiers do any research for themselves. These soldiers, they're carefully monitored. They're carefully watched. They're being surveillance on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying? So they can't step out of line and research anything. Therefore, they don't grow. Therefore, they become stupid like this guy. All right. So his might has failed. All right. Because he's way behind. All right. Like I said, there's thousands of niggas in the military that think exactly like this, man. Trust me. Okay. It says they had became as women. Right. You know what I mean? So, that can represent the fear, that, they don't want to put their lives on the line. But then they also become as women because, they're reckless. They're delusional. They think like women. You see, women are, when you talk to a lot of these women are reckless and delusional like this and just say anything and don't know what's going on. Okay. But men who are supposed to be soldiers, they're supposed to be smart. They're supposed to be up to date. They're supposed to have an IQ. You know what I'm saying? It says they have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Let me get a different translation. Jeremiah 51:30 NIV. Babylon's warriors have stopped fighting. They remain in their strongholds. Their strength is exhausted. They have become weaklings. Okay? And once your mind is broken down and your mind is turned into mush and you just believe anything on the television, you become a weakling, man. All right? You become a weakling and you have a fragile mind, man. Okay? It says her dwellings are set on fire. The bars of her gates are broken. Let's go to NLT. It says her mightiest warriors no longer fight. They stay in their barracks, their courage gone. They have become like women. The invaders have burned the houses and broken down the city gates. NET. The soldiers of Babylonia will stop fighting. They will remain in their fortified cities. They will lose their strength to do battle. They will be frightened as women. The houses in her cities will be set on fire. The gates of her cities will be broken down. Okay. And it all starts with, slow thinking soldiers. This is how it starts. Okay. Soldiers that are not competent to understand what's going on. All right. And it's a goddamn shame that the military is full of niggas like this, man. These are the people that that this country is supposed to depend on. Okay. To go fight that war. All right. You know what I'm saying? And this is the type of nigga you see this nigga because, let's say that he one of them recruiters, because you got them military recruiters that'll sit there and try to get you to sign up. This is a type of nigga you ask him, hey man, is America going to war? And he'll tell you with a straight face, no, we're not going to war. Don't believe everything you see on the television. You know what I'm saying? He you know, these soldiers are completely low level, man. They don't know what's going on. They don't know that they're being two-timed and played out of their goddamn life. Okay, you know, this is why you have to tap into the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You can't listen to the television. You can't listen to these goddamn soldiers when they tell you that peace and safety is gonna be the you know, the standard for America. Okay, because clearly it's not. All right, so I just wanted to make this video real quick. All right, because I said I got to say something about this. You know, this nigga's too damn retarded, man. I got to say something about this. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom, shalom.